we no need them save their life, because there's nothing so important like child. Cross and see them they cry, and they shout oh no. They need to be given the chance to grow, because nothing be leaders of tomorrow. Children help me sing. You should take care of the little children. You should take care of the little children. You should take care of the leaders of tomorrow. I beg, make you hear them sing. You should take care of the little children. You should take care of the little children. You should take care of the leaders of tomorrow.
Okay, we should take care of the leaders of tomorrow. If we do not take care of them from now, then definitely in future we're gonna have issues. That's what we stand here to address, because we desire a tomorrow that will be safe for all of our children. Okay, so you heard it from Shadrach Nyam. He shared his own experience with his uncle and some of it, and also I shared, or the one I've had with some persons there. So it's not a funny thing. I see children. Even on my phone, I have pictures of little ones going for mining. It's a reality of what we are saying. And these are only two ways of amplifying the voice of the government, regarding halting mining as we celebrate the International Day of Forests. So, anti-favor, anti-missy, they are all here as we continue with our discussion. And our guest is here. We have the male guest here. Probably the female guest will join us later. So, I think.
Okay, yes. Uncle Chef said it. We have our guest here while we await our female guest to join us. So, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, let me allow you to introduce yourself. Please, can we meet you?
Okay. Thank you very much for having me here. My name is Paul Kaya Abetang. I am a landscape architect.
Okay.
I am a biological scientist and a horticulturist, a staff member with the Department of Horticulture and Landscape Technology, Federal College of Forestry, Jos, and the Public Relations Officer of Society of Landscape Architects of Nigeria, Jos Council. That to state.
It's nice to have you on the program today.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you.
we hope to talk and converse on the issues that concerns forest, and to also commemorate the International Forest Day too as well. Now, to start off, sir, can you tell us what are some simple changes that we can make in our daily lives to reduce our carbon footprint?
Okay, carbon emission is a menace in the environment.
Okay.
As we know, you see that first of all, most times people just jump into bikes, into vehicles for just a short distance that is trackable. So for the little things we have to do in our everyday life is to trek. One of them is to trek. Instead of hopping on motorbikes and vehicles that at the end of the day will emit carbon monoxide to the environment by combustion automobile engines. So we can trek, because trekking is also part of exercise. And we can also recycle waste, because most of the waste that are being disposed are being burnt. And when it is burnt, it emits carbon into the environment, into the sky, and it has the propensity to degrade the ozone layer, as we all know.
Okay, sorry. Maybe can you help us, talk about this carbon? There's somebody, that child who is listening to us is wondering what his uncle saying. He's talking about carbon. So what is it, carbohydrate or what? So please bring it down to the level of the children.
All right, carbon is actually a chemical, a non-metallic chemical in the periodic table. That's carbon.
Okay.
It is a constituent of lipids, fats. It is a constituent of most of our foods.
Okay.
It's a constituent of the biological systems. Now, we are talking about carbon monoxide and then carbon dioxide. So these are three different things. So carbon monoxide is always obtained from combustion engines,
Okay. Industries.
on industries, automobiles, and so on.
Okay. So it causes air pollution.
Yes, it causes that. And don't forget that carbon dioxide is actually important for photosynthetic metabolism of food in plants. So we breathe out carbon dioxide, which is very important for plants, and then plants give off oxygen, which is very important for us.
Okay, so I think boys and girls who are listening can understand now. So when we talk about air pollution, what Uncle is simply saying that these industries, the motor cars, vehicles that we enter can cause air pollution. Now, this is all about the carbon. Uncle is talking about boys and girls. Do you understand? Okay. Yes. So while we were conversing, we have female guest just came in. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes, so can we meet you?
Yes, I'm Nanchin Kaze.
Okay.
A conservation biologist.
Okay.
And a nature enthusiast.
Wow.
Yes.
So good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so we are celebrating the International Forest Day, and we are conversing on a couple of issues that concerns this topic of discourse. Yes, and I've been speaking with Mr. Paul Abati. Yes, so let me ask you, having you here now, can you give us some, simple ways, or what can we do to actually change our daily lives to reduce our carbon footprints?
Yeah, sure. So the way we actually take life in general, sometimes when we say carbon footprint, people think that it's something big, that I shouldn't be part of it. Yeah. But it is that simple. It starts with just an individual. And you can imagine how when me will play our own part, and how cumulatively we'll do something big. Yeah, so even the way we eat, we can reduce waste. So instead of having let me give example down to our Nigerian situation. You're 5 in a family, and when you have 2 cups of gari, it will be enough. Why take 3? When you have 3, then definitely there will be waste. And your dog will not take gari. So just make that 2 cups, eat it, then we'll be fine. That is one simple way of reducing your carbon footprint. And instead of using the cars all the time, I just want to go to the market behind my house, I want to drive. Come on, use your legs. Not just trekking, but then it's also good for your health. And by doing that, you're reducing your carbon footprint. So you see, just simple actions. And you are making a big difference.
That makes a lot of sense. So profound. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Ma, for that.
Thank you very much.
That's profound and enlightenment on what carbon footprint is all about. Let me ask you, Ma, still conversing with you, how can we balance our economic development with environmental sustainability?
Okay, so there's this term we call circular economy. And it simply means you recycling what you will not use, as in you extending the lifespan of something that you have. So for example, if I have a clothes, this shirt that I'm putting on, I don't want to wear it again. It will just be honorable if I would just put it and then take and go give it to someone that will use it. So when that is just a cycle, it's just a way that you cycle something and you increase the lifespan. So when you do that, you're actually
creating a balance.
You are creating a balance. And economically, we are having a stability, because instead of throwing it away and polluting the environment, you are giving it out. And when we talk about all this green investment, when people will turn plastic, you will turn rubbish into something that is useful, that is another way of investing in our economy. Instead of throwing the trash, we are using it. The banana peel, it's amazing what people will do. Yes, there are so many amazing inventions out there that we can also use it to boost our economy while saving the environment.
Wow, thank you. I don't know if you have any to add to what she has just said. How can we balance our economic development with environmental sustainability?
Okay, there is this issue of deforestation, where trees are being cut down in forested areas, and then exposing the environment to degradation, to adverse weather, climatic conditions, or climatic conditions. So when you cut down trees, actually those trees are used for construction works. They are being used for as an energy source. So as much as one will cut down trees for construction works, for as energy source, it is also very important to replace them by planting other ones, which means you will have to encourage afforestation, even more than deforestation.
Okay. Thank you. I think we are learning.
Yeah.
Yes, we truly learn.
It is good to learn, because when you learn, you do better.
Yeah.
Sure.
So beginning of the phone line.
Okay, the phone lines to reach us. You can get in touch. Probably you got any question you want to ask, or you want to make contribution. Children, adults, elders, whoever you are, you can reach us on 090 861
861
000
000
11
11
or 081
081
64
64
04
04
1935
1935
081
081
64
64
04
04
1935.
1935. Okay, those are the phone lines to reach us. All right, Mr. Paul, I still ask you a question. So, what role can individuals play in promoting forest conservation and sustainable land use?
Okay, like I said earlier on, as much as trees are being cut down for construction works and all of these things, it is also very important to also plant trees.
Okay.
So you plant trees and nurture them. It is called training in horticulture. So you train those trees to grow to the shapes and the way you want them to grow, to the height.
Okay.
So it is also very important for individuals to plant trees, take care of the trees, for environmental sustainability.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, you're saying if we cut down a tree, we should replace.
We should replace, and not just replacing.
Okay.
Take care of the tree, water it, train it to grow for man's use.
Okay. Now, do you have another thing to add to that?
Yeah. So why do we cut the trees? Mostly we cut them to use them as firewood, as charcoal, yes.
Yes.
So in as much as we can reduce our use of all these forest products, it will go a long way to help us. And then these papers that we're using left, right, center, the thing is we can actually use electronic documents.
Okay.
And then reduce the way we depend on papers. Yes.
So how can we engage our communities in environmental education and activism?
Okay, so I will start by commending what you guys are doing here, because
Okay.
you bring in the kids to talk about the environment, you observe all these environmental days. Kudos to you guys. That is one way.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Uncle Show. That is one good way to do it. When you catch them young, then we'll have less issues in the future. But then another way again is doing this environmental education, reaching them right down to their schools, right? So not just the younger ones, but at the university levels as well, because education is never you are never too old or too young for education.
Okay.
So the first thing that we do is education. Yes.
Education.
Yeah.
So would you like to add something to that?
All right, still in line with the education, the Department of Agric Extension Management in Federal College of Forestry is saddled with the responsibility to get that done.
Okay.
And we do that in horticulture and landscape technology too. So we go out to the community and educate them on tree planting, on how to conserve the environment for man's use. And so one of the things that we did one day is that an experiment was given out. We planted, it's not just enough to tell them to educate them on these practices. We carried out an experiment of planting trees. We planted fruit trees and planted ornamental trees. At the end of the day, like 2 years after that, we came back and saw that the fruit tree was still was taken care of, and it was still standing. That's because the community felt that they could take care of fruit trees because it provides food for them to eat. So one of the things we do of catching them and making them take care of the plants is to plant most the fruit trees. Yes, and it helps them if they know that these trees can give them food. So they take care of the trees that we plant.
Thank you. So I'm back to you. Can you please talk to parents who release their children for mining in expense of school?
Okay, so I understand the fact that many families are facing financial issues currently with our present situation in Nigeria, and so it's easy for a parent to like send a child out to go out and engage in these mining activities to get something back home. You know, so in as much as it is not right, it's also okay that we try to put ourselves in the shoes of those parents.
Sure.
And I am talking from my own perspective as a parent. Really, I know how hard it is in this present economic situation in Nigeria to provide, you know, but it is not okay to send the children out to engage in mining, you know, because they are losing the opportunities out there. You know, if there's this thing with time that once it is lost, you can never get it back. So at this stage, that is when they need to be in the classroom to get something in that brain, to let them understand that, you know, it's when you are able to sit down and learn, and then tomorrow you'll be able to give back to the society. Instead of just looking at the short gain now, you go out for mining, yes, the child will be able to bring 1,000, maybe 2,000. And so what? How about
Are
tomorrow?
you serious, man?
Definitely.
I am with them. Oh, these boys and girls come back with goodie.
Yes, of course. I am
But
not disputing that
Budiva-
fact. Sure, Uncle, sure. But then the truth is, it will only last for now.
Yeah.
We're looking,
you are correct there.
yeah, so we're looking for something that will last for long. Parent, if you really want to, tomorrow you are old, your child will come back home with something to give you. You know, every parent wants to have a child that tomorrow will be something in the future. Come on, don't you want your child to be the next president? Changing our policy, making our environment better.
Yeah.
That child needs to go to school. That mining pit is just, what would I say, a trap that is just waiting, because many people now are buried alive in those holes. So come on, parents. I know the economy is hard, but we can do better. You know?
That's true. You know, one of the learners, you know, he shared his own experience. He also goes as deep as into the hole. You know, Shedrack. He was here. He shared his own experience and how the big drawer hit his uncle on the leg and, you know, almost shattered. It shattered the leg. You know, he had to even send shout out. So it's the truth. It's happening, and I just pray God will help him, because the truth here is this. I'm being honest with you. From where I'm coming from, that area where all of them came from, the school they came from, I can bet to tell you that by the time you bring out the 100% of learners in the whole community, those that are from that community, they are just about 10 to 25.
So sad.
Others are from people in neighboring community that come there. So to support what you are saying, they don't value education. It's the truth. It's the truth. I wish I can read out the statistics of my research and my findings from that. I will before the end of the day, but just to support what you're saying, that's the truth. Mr. Paul, what do you have to say?
Let me speak to parents who engage in allowing their children to get that done. When you point someone to the detrimental aspect of what that person is doing, I think he will have certain restrictions. So, first of all,
Hello.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello?
Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. We can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Carry on. Oh la la. Okay. Let me say this. Okay. When you call, even if you cannot hear us, okay, just join the conversation. Go on your name, where you're calling from, and just say what you need to say. We can hear you. You know, network sometimes is like this. Please, sorry for that. Please let me repeat again, okay? Just call and say where you are calling from and join the conversation. Thank you so much for calling back. Yes, carry on, carry on.
Hello?
Hello?
Go on, please.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Paul, carry on.
Okay, the chances of reducing your generational sustainability is high when you allow your children to go and engage in many activities.
Sure.
This will cause death. What if your child dies? It has reduced the chances of you sustaining your generation. That is one. And two, most of these things being mined, most of these mined precious stones contain radioactive elements that will show up in your generation later on. It will interfere with the genetic composition of your system. It may not show now, but in your, for example, you give birth to your grandchildren, give birth to their children, and then you see a physical deformation as a result of a genetic deletion or malfunctioning. And then thirdly, there is land fragmentation. This is your ancestral land. I'm talking to those parents now. This is your ancestral land that your ancestors handed over to you. And then you involve in mining activities, and this causes land fragmentation. So it fragments your land. You can't build on your land. You can't farm.
Yes, carry on, carry on. Sorry, sir, for cutting short. Just go on. So sorry for that.
Yeah, okay, no problem. So when these activities fragment your land, we can see it everywhere here in Plateau. Different holes, different pits that are not even filled up. So this causes land fragmentation. You can't build in such land. You can't cultivate. You can't even grow a forest in that kind of an area. And then water pollution. You know, when rain falls, those particles of what has been mined are always deposited on the surface. Okay. So water will flow with them to the river. It will pollute your waters, your well, your water, and then you drink. You use it to wash clothes. You use it to bath. So I believe when you point this negative aspect of allowing your children to engage in mining activity, it will to an extent halt the parents from getting that, from raising their children.
Sure. Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, please join the conversation, please. Carry on.
My name is Esther Jackie from South.
Okay.
I really like the show. I like the awareness that you're doing with it. And I'll send my shout out to the children of South, here in South America. I'm very proud of you guys.
Wow. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, you know, all the children that came here, all the learners, they are from that locality, and it's from the 5 schools that are there. We invited them and they are here. So thank you very much. Okay, quickly, don't take more than a minute to answer this. Give us some innovative solution to environmental challenges that we have come across. Yes, don't take more than a minute. Quickly.
Okay, so one of the solutions that we can have is regenerative agriculture, which is a farming practice that restore the soil health and increase biodiversity, as well as try to capture some of the carbon dioxide that we keep increasing the quantity in the environment. So if we change the way we do agriculture, it will go a very long way to help us. So
that's good.
Okay, flooding is part of the environmental hazards we face. So it can be controlled by watershed management. We landscape architects do designs to suit that, to get that done. And then I have seen innovations where, in my field as a landscape architect, I have seen where entrepreneurs convert tires to, instead of burning them to emit carbon dioxide, they convert it to production of curbs, and interlocks, instead of using concrete stones.
Wow. Thank you very much. You know, time is no longer our friend, but we'll still give you the, please, let's do this in 20 seconds. Send out your shout out. Thank you so much for coming. We are very grateful. You know, don't mind me. When it's time like this, you know, the studio manager started saying, man, round up. Okay, so thank you very much for coming. Mrs. Nanchin, tell all the people in APLORI that we are grateful. And they hosted us and children the last time we came with children. So you just come and experience it. It was a great experience. Thank you. Tell them thank you. So let's start with you. Your shout out.
So shout out to my family, Akita Joseph Kaze, and the kids. But then a big shout out to every person that have a tree in their compound, that give a damn about the environment. My shout out is especially to you guys today.
Thank you so much, Mungode. So, Mr. Paulo.
My shout out to all lovers of the environment and all stewards of the environment. My shout out to the president of the provost of Federal College of Forestry, Dr. Melumo, my HOD, Dr. Owonobi, to architect Izam Pate Edward, is the SLAN chapter chairman of Plateau State, to my pastor, Reverend Gloria Mokunga, and to all lovers of the environment, and everybody in Teen City.
Mungode, what about your sweetheart?
Oh, first of all, my wife,
not go back home.
My gorgeous, beautiful, supportive wife, Abosede Abetang. Thank you for being a good wife.
Thank you very much. Okay, so as we call it today, it's been a great time together with Mrs. Nanchin. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Paul, and to all the boys and girls from Fuapa, those who were trying to call and just couldn't connect. So sorry for that. So from every one of us, it's been a great time here, and we just want you to know that when you take care of your environment will come back to take good care of you. Sure. So don't forget that. And always be the best you can always be. From here, everybody on Teen City 104.3, we are saying we love you. And we are signing up with saying peace.
I hope you take the keys to visit us for forestry.
Make you look round the world. Prostitution, they blow like God. Now why some girls they kill their unborn child? If you go to motherless baby, you go see abandoned kids.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Don't go conference. Now do us rice because you know what they're going to do us rice. Am I lying? No, no, they do rice. If there's no food, you know they come over.
I think the children now is not an easy.
I agree.
Morning, sir.